Hi, good morning. This is Carl, the Washington Mortgage Professor, and I want to thank you for joining me for my weekly housing news. Today we're talking about why you need to buy now so you don't miss the boat. Um, let's start off with interest rates. I've been in the industry for 20 years, and I have personally never seen interest rates at these historic lows for this amount of time. We've been here now for almost a full quarter. A little over that if you include December. Interest rates are so low that even George Washington couldn't get a better rate. So as you know, historically we're at record lows in the mortgage industry. So now is a great time to buy because it helps you to afford more homes. The second factor is the amount of inventory available. We've never seen inventory available like this since I've been in the industry. And what that means to you is the sellers are no longer running the show. Their houses are on the market for extended periods of time. And they have to give more to actually get the buyers. There are sellers now that are willing to pay up to 3%, sometimes 6% towards your closing costs, towards buying your interest rate even lower. So if you have a record low rate, you can even get it a little bit lower. You could get in for very little down, depending on the price of the property, little to nothing down, and the location. Also, they're willing to negotiate on price. I don't know if you remember, but 4 years ago, just 4 short years ago, we were in a seller's market in our area. And the sellers ran the show. You'd have to come in with escalator clauses because there was multiple offers. Every offer was full price. And besides being the full price offers, you had to have this escalator clause because of the multiple offers. So if you were buying a $300,000 house, you'd have to write an escalator clause of $15,000 to $30,000 more than the value of the property just to get in. The other benefit of the amount of inventory is if this is your first home, you're able to actually take your time and look around and find that perfect home. Because there's so many homes in the market that are available, you're able to take your time and go look around and find just that perfect house at that perfect location with all the amenities you need at the price you want. It's a beautiful, beautiful time to be a buyer. But as you know, trends don't last forever, and we have no idea when this is going to turn around. The government's doing all they can to change it. So if you're considering buying, you're thinking about buying, now is the time you want to buy. And let me show you a little chart that I've created about market trends. Current market is in the downward trend. Future market's going to be in the upward. So let's talk about this a little bit because it's called the V effect. And what it is that in the current market, even if property values are going down, you're still going to come out ahead because you're able to negotiate a better price, money towards closing or buying the rate down, and you're able to find the house that you want. Statistically, for the last 200 years, home values have went up 6% in appreciation per year on average. The other part of that is if that's the case, 6% per year, you're going to stay in that house for 14 years according to the U.S. Census Bureau. So with those statistics, you will come out ahead even if we stay in this trend for another year or two. So there's nothing to be afraid of, no reason not to buy today. The other part is once that market turns, you're going to be back into a seller's market. You're not going to have the negotiating power. You're not going to be able to get the house that you want. The inventory is going to be back to normal, and it's just going to be a lot tougher. One thing to consider, to truly consider, is think back about those people in 1979 and 1980 that bought those houses in Seattle for $45,000 to $50,000. If they stayed in those houses today in the greater Seattle area, if they stayed in those houses for the average U.S. Census Bureau statistic of 14 years, in 1992, 1993, they'd be able to sell that house for $150,000 to $300,000 based on U.S. statistics and what our market was doing at the time, that's quite a profit for the average American. I mean, think about it. If you, what would you do with $100,000 or $200,000? What could you do with that for your family, for your retirement? Now is a great time to buy. So avoid getting caught in the upward trend. You always want to buy in a down market. It's the most opportune time. You'll never find this again in your lifetime, maybe once more in your lifetime, but for the large part, I've seen it one other time in my life, and I wasn't old enough to buy. So based on what we have talked about and everything else, now is the time to buy. If you're interested, give me a call, send me an email, visit my website, apply online, and let me help you create wealth through home ownership. Again, this is Carl. Thanks. Have a great day.